Silver-embossed glazed glass, liu li, bracelet, and mala beads. Liu li is one of the 7 treasures of Buddhism. It is imbued with Medicine Buddha's all-compassionate blessing. It is extremely precious. This silver-embossed liu li is handcrafted using ancient artisanship, comprised of 60 steps. The beads have a sapphire blue shine with the glimmer of silver. This blue is called sapphire blue or royal blue in the West. The purple sheen symbolizes purple energy, signaling the arrival of fortune. With Grandmaster JinBodhi's compassionate blessing, the wearer should receive fortune and abundance and be in sync with Medicine Buddha's purity and wisdom. Hello, everyone. So today, we're online and practice together again. The Chanting Group Practice. At the beginning of the Chanting Practice, I'd like to tell you a story. It's in the Ming Dynasty. It's in Yangzhou, about a very rich person. In the Ming Dynasty, it was in Yangzhou. Yangzhou is in southern China. It is a very famous and beautiful city in southern China. There was a very rich person who has a grocery store, and he has a son and 2 grandsons. And he's already in his last few days. He was lying on the bed, and he knew that it's almost getting to the end of his life. So he called his son to come to him. And he's going to leave him with the last few words. You see, my son, I'm your father. I've left you with so many assets. And you need to inherit all these. Not only I'm going to give you the house and money, these are just, money, but the most important thing that can bring you wealth is actually a balance. And I actually found the specialist to put some hydrogen to put there, that can help you to get the false weight of the commodity. And so say, for example, it's 100 grams, but then actually it's not 100 grams, it's less than 100 grams. And so it can help you to get extra money. But the son, after hearing this, he followed his grandmother and learned some Buddhism and learned some compassion, and he learned from his grandma, so he wants to become a compassionate person, a kind person. After he heard from his father, he thought it's not good, but his father already passed away, so he couldn't ask too much from his father. And then he became the owner of the grocery store, and he doesn't want to do things like this, which is not integrated. And then his father, in China, after they passed away, there were after his father passed away, then he actually put that false scale into the fire because if he used that scale, he's going to make money that will make him feel bad. And after his father passed away, he found a lot of ways to help people in Yangzhou, especially those people like seniors who doesn't have money to go to see a doctor, or children doesn't have enough money to pay for tuition, and all kinds of people who need financial aid or any other kind of help. He would try his best to help them. And after 3 or 4 years, he actually spent most of the money that his father left for him for helping others. But he felt good, because otherwise he always had that darkness, that shadow, that lack of virtue, that kind of regrets in his mind can somehow diminish. And so he is really actually a very kind and compassionate person. And so he was running the store and doing good deeds. It's almost like paying off the debt from his father. But unexpectedly, a bad thing happened. He has 2 sons. One was drowned, and another son was sick and died. And like within 2 years. And he lost 2 sons. He didn't even become old, and it's only in his maybe 30s, like in the middle age, and he already lost his 2 sons, and he was very, very sad. And so sometimes he would kneel down in front of Buddha and say, "Oh, Buddha, you're very compassionate, but you see, isn't it unfair? I helped my father to pay off the debts, and I helped a lot of people. And how come I can still have these bad things happening?" The sons died. How big a sin would that be? How bad karma would that be? And so he felt unfair. And one day, after he chanted and he fell asleep, he had a dream. And he went to a place where it's like a very special kind of palace. And there were a very high-level official talked to him, and he said, I'm actually in charge of arranging your fate. You see, your father became a rich person. It was because in his previous life, he used to be always giving. Whether it is food or money or whatever items, he actually was very, very kind and helped many people. That's why in this life, he had a good consequence that he became a very rich person. Because his previous life, he did a lot of offering and helped poor people and help others. And so he did many good deeds. And so in this life, he became a rich person. But I don't know why he used a false scale. And this was like cheating people. And when he was making money, he used that false scale to make money. Actually, he didn't need to use that false one to make extra money. He already had those merits from previous life that he can already have a rich life, but somehow he used that bad way to make money. And because of these bad deeds, he already created a lot of bad karma. And even until death, he didn't awake. And so this situation actually annoyed the heavenly beings, and because he cheated a lot of people and made those money. When he needs to pay the debt, he would have to pay more. Say, for example, you cheated and got 1 million, then you need to pay 10 million. So you don't have that much money, then you have to pay by lives. And that's why the heavenly beings sent 2 like ghosts to your house. And they came to your house just to destroy your family. It was because of your father's ill deeds. Because you're his son. You are connected. And that's why you have to experience the suffering of losing sons. So the consequences not just come back to himself, but even his son would have to suffer. And so the consequence came to his grandson, who are actually your sons. And it's almost like use their lives to pay for the debt. And you see, not just that, you are also going to have short life. You're not yet going to be the end of your life yet, but you don't have a long life. It's all because of your father's wrongdoings and bad karmas, and you're also going to have sufferings. And therefore, this son will not have long life. The grandson will actually die. Let me drink some water.
That
made your life that will make your life very short. Even though you are very kind, you are very kind. But you, as his son, you have to have short life. Maybe your original fate should be 82 years old, but now you have to live only till about 40 years old, and your sons would have to die. But this time, I call you here. It's because, well, you're very kind and very virtuous. In these 3 and 4 years, you were very, very kind to others because you already know about the bad thing that your father has already done. So you are keeping continuously paying the debt, and the merits from your kind deeds actually touched the heavenly beings, and so you have already accumulated these merits. And so your 2 sons, if they didn't die, if they are still living, they will actually use up all your money. We let them die early. It's actually because of your compassion. We made these 2 sons die earlier. And then we will bestow you with 2 other sons who will make your family prosperous. If you continue to do kind deeds, if you continue to have a compassionate heart,
也就是延长你的寿命。
probably you would
他
also
接下来他
extend
就
your
会
life.
继续这个梦醒了之后
And after
他记得非常
this
清楚
person
呀。
yeah,
他这个不是一
woke
个
up
虚
from
假
the
的梦，
dream.
这太真实
Wow,
了。
this dream is so
就
real. It's
深受
not
启发。
just a dream,
哎
it's
呀
so
真是
real. And
非
he
常
was
慈悲善
very
良，做了很多慈悲善良帮人的事
touched
情。
by the dream, and so he
哎
continued to
结
do
果
a
呢
lot of
他
kind
这个妻
deeds.
子呢，就
And
是又生
his
了2个孩
wife
子，聪明
give
智
birth to
慧
2 more
懂事
children.
后来
Very
考了
smart,
进士状
very
元，有的为高官，
very
有的
good,
给他接班为富商。
so they
使这个家
become
族
one of
呢
them become
又
a
继
high
续
level
兴旺
official,
起来。
and one become
并且他活到了
also the
86
owner of the store, and
这是
make the
扬州
business
富翁的
grow.
这样一
And
个
then
小故事。
he
我
himself
就原
also
本的
extend his life
告诉
to
大家。
more than 80 years
我
old.
也
So
不
this is a
评价，
story
因为很直
about
白，
a rich
很简单理解。
merchant in Yangzhou. I'm not going
好，接下来
to
呢，
comment
我再
on
给
this
大家
because this
讲
is
一
a very
个小
straightforward
木匠的
story.
故事。
And next I'm going to tell you a story about a
在这个
carpenter.
我所
a
知道
young
呢，因为
carpenter.
我父亲也是干这一行的，
I
就是
know
虽然不是木
because,
匠，
you know,
是
my
建筑
father
工人。
also is in the
在
construction
建筑
business,
过
and
去的
he
传统的
was
房子里
a
头，他所
worker
有
in
他
the
都会做。
construction business, and he knows all
那
the
么在
skills in
他们的
that
这个
business.
传说中，我也听我父亲说过，
I heard from
啊，
my
有一
father
个
too.
神秘的一
There
种
were
叫做法术，
a
叫做
very
鲁班术。
mysterious
也有人把它
like
读为鲁班书，就是因为鲁班呢，是
Dharma.
中国的一个就是
No,
这个叫做
It's
在网上
called
真查到有鲁班书
鲁
哈，
班
对
skill.
对，实际上内容叫鲁班术啊，方术的术。
So it's
对，
like
这个
a
很多做建筑的
method
人
or
是懂的。
technique. And a lot
尤
of
其是做建
people in the
筑中的
construction
木匠，
business, they heard about
有
this,
的人
especially the
知道过。
carpenters. They know it.
有
Some
的人
people
知道
may
过。
even
对
have
那
learned
我呢
it.
翻过几个页啊，这个古书。
And
那这个鲁班
I
术呢，就
I
是
have
不是一
also
般
read a few
就是
pages of
木
that.
匠的
so this
正常的技术，
Luban
而是
art
指法
or
术。
technique, it's not just
对，
a carpenter
这个法
skill,
术呢，一会
but
儿会介
it's
绍到。
actually like a magical
那
art
话
or
说，在这个宋朝时期，
and
就
it
是
was
北
in the
宋
Song
时期啊，
Dynasty,
现在
in the
1000多年了啊。
北宋, the
北宋
Northern
时期的
Song
这个
time,
京城啊，
it was
叫
in the
做
capital
汴京，
city
也叫
in the
汴
Song
梁，
Dynasty.
现在开封左右哈，管它
It
开封左右。
was in
这一
Bianjing,
个
which
小
is
镇
close
子里头
to
住着一
Kaifeng
个张老板，
nowadays, and
对，过去
there's
叫
a
掌柜的
Mr.
啊，张
Zhang
掌柜的张老板，
who
对，
was
他
the
呢在经营
owner
一家药铺，
of
哎，
a
生意还
pharmacy,
是很不错的。
and he
哎，
had
这什么时代
pretty good
总是有人
business.
就有病
You
嘛
know,
要看
and
病，所以他
anytime,
为人也不错。
any
哎，
time
还
there
是
are
很
people
善
who
良的
are
经
sick,
营
and
啊，
so he
对，生
was
意不
a
错。
pretty good
那
person,
么他
and
呢
he
就娶
was
了
very
他
diligently
们
doing the
这个
business,
同
and so the
村的
business
这
was
个老李家
pretty
的闺女
good.
呢，为
And
妻就结
he
婚了。
married a girl from the
老李
Lee's
家的闺女
family,
呢，过去呢没有名字，
and
都叫李
Lee's
氏。
family,
就
this
是我们
girl,
记住这个李
usually
氏。
in ancient China,
这
they
个
would just call that
李氏呢，其实
like
长得是有
Ms.
些
Lee.
姿色的，就是比较
This
偏美丽的
Ms.
那种
Lee
女
is
孩儿啊。
a
但是呢
pretty，
人家做人还是比较
girl
憨厚、诚
and
实、老
she's
实、
also a
守
very
妇道的
honest
这样的好闺女、好
and
媳妇。
good girl, good lady.
那么过了2年呢，
And
他家
after
呢要自己盖
2
房
years,
子啊，光给父母挤一起呢，屋子
they
太
need
小。
to build another
啊，
house
接下来生
because
儿育女
living
啊，
with the
所以他这个
parents
房
are
子不
too
够住，
crowded, and
因为事业
because
经
they're
营的也
going
不
to have
错，所以自
children,
己要
and they
独立
also
盖一
had
套
good
宅子出来。
business, so they had money to
那么在盖房
build
子啊，
another
就请
house,
这个
and so they invited
建筑工人呢，
the
找到一个头儿，其实现在来说就是一个小建筑公司，一洽谈
construction
多少
company
钱
to come
谈好了，
and
就开始干活施工。
build that house for
因为
them.
在过去啊，给自家干活哈，有很多传统的概念，就是说，来干活的工人。
In
通
the
常不是自己
old
本村里
times,
的，
usually
可能是
they
稍稍
invite
距离
people
远
not
一
from
些
the same family,
啊，
but
会
maybe
住在
from far
你们家
away.
帮助安排的一些
And
人家
then
或者是帐
they
篷
would
来住。
arrange them
但是
to
这个
live in another
饭
family
食呢，就
or
是
in
饮
a
食的部
tent.
分呢，是这个
that
盖
the
房的这个
food
主人家来提供。
will be provided
所
by
以当然了，
the
这
family
家的这个
who
李氏，
invite them to
她
come
是
and build
女
the
主人
house.
呢，就是做一些很
And
多好吃
so
的，要招待这些
the
工匠。
wife cooked a
除了
lot
这样
of
的正
good
常招
food
待之外，
to
还要
to bring to them and offer them. Not only they're going to cook a lot of good food, but they also try to provide good service to them, because when they're constructing a house, there are some rules, and sometimes there's some taboos that needs to be very careful about. When they invite the construction company to come and build the house, they usually would pamper them so that they would be happy, and they would not put any bad spell on the house. But there was one young worker who was very greedy on the lust, and he saw that this Ms. Li was quite beautiful, and so he did something that are not very supposed to do. And so he molested the woman, and because Ms. Li didn't dare to annoy the construction company, and so she just tolerated. But once he did too much, and so this Ms. Li blamed him, and so that young man was very unhappy. He was thinking, I'm constructing the house for you, and now you even blame me. And so he was very unhappy. So, when they are putting the roof on the house, they need to put the beam on first. In the for traditional house, the roof is exceptionally important, and it needs to be supported by the beam. And this young man secretly put a carved tiger on the beam. And so when the house was finished, and the couple moved into the house, and then they just felt uncomfortable ever since they moved in the house. And their business also became worse and worse. And then they became unhealthy and always felt like there were a dark shadow or some weird sound. And when they sleep, they don't feel settled. So they always have some strange feelings. After 2-3 years, because the house hasn't been built properly, they always felt like, sometimes it will be leaking, or sometimes it will crack, and then they always need to ask people to come and repair it. I know nowadays, new buildings, they need to have repairs ever since they moved in. And so this couple, they dare not ask the construction company who built the house. So they went to ask an experienced senior worker to come and help. This senior worker, first of all, he was very skillful in the construction, and also he's very professional in this Luban, art. And so they respected this senior worker, and so this Ms. Li very diligently served this senior worker. And so this senior worker was very touched, and he determined to help them, because he learned that Luban architectural art, and so ever since he went into the house, he felt, there's something wrong, and using his Dharma power, he felt, there's something wrong, and so with his Luban art skill and Dharma power, he adjusted the energy, and he including adjusting the gate of the house. He, the door used to be very hard to close. They need to both people to work very hard and close the door.
门上有那个荷叶哈，
In
来转
ancient
动的，
times,
都是木头轴。
the
并且这个
doors
门
has
老师傅为了帮
you
他
know, the
故意把
wood
这个门做得
access
特别紧，
and
是有原因的。这个原因
this
呢，
senior worker make the
所有
access
的朋友
very
们你
tight.
考虑之后
There's a
留言
reason
给
for
我，
that.
到
You
底
can,
为啥？
well, my
他们
online
两个
friends, you
非常
can leave
合力
messages
用
to
力才能
me
把这个
and
门
think about why
推
they
起来关
need
上。
to close the
所以
door
在推门的
very
时候，
hard.
木头摩擦那个木头有大后门嘛，就
So
会发出
they need to close the door.
古人描述
It's
像笼
very
罩
hard
般
to
的声音。
close it. And so when
就
they
通常我
close
们
it,
吱
you know, you
一
will
声
hear a
反正比
very
我说的声音
loud
可能还
sound,
更好
even
听一些。
louder than this,
就
and
咣当一声才能关上。
and then they
这
can
样
close the
并
door.
且这老先生呢，还给这个家
And
他们家
this
给了一个桃木棒，
Senior
尤其是
worker
给这个
also gave
理
them
事，
a stick
就是如果你感觉
made
到
of peach wood.
感觉到有奇
And
怪的事发
he
生，
told
你就
this
拿
Miss
这个
Lee,
桃木棒
he
打。
said, if you
我
hear
们之
any
前不
weird
讲过
sound, you
桃
this,
木
this
剑、桃木棒、桃木法器，我
peach
这里
wood
都是
stick
桃
to
木的
hit
啊，我家乡的
that
桃木
energy.
做的
I've already
金刚
mentioned
杵。
that the peach wood
为
actually
啥呢？
we use
大
them
恶
for
是
fur
天灾
bath
来的时候，桃树
or
先有感应。
some Dharma
就是这样，
tools.
它就
It's
是很
because
聪
whenever
明的一个
there's
东西。
the peach wood actually is
好，
like a
这个老先
media.
生
It
嘱咐
connects
过了之后，
to some
哎，
energy
他们就觉
and
得
can
之
sense
后
the
就心
energy.
安了很多。
And so
之前
after
的心
this
慌啊、心悸
senior
呀、睡不好
worker came
啊，
and
怪声音呢，
helped
基本
adjust
上
the
没有了。
energy field, then now
可是这个
the couple now
不久
feel
之后
much
呢，
better.
等他房子也修好了一段时间呢，来
And
给他们家
after a
调
while,
戏过他的那个小木匠，
that
又
young
在这个
worker
村镇附
who
近又来建筑，给别人家建筑，还惦记着这个漂亮的李氏。
who actually
你想着，一个是看见这个小媳妇很
molest
漂亮，我
the
就去看
lady
一看。
before.
第二个，
He
看
came
我
back
把
to
他们
another
给弄死
family
了没
to
有？
build the
我用的法术到底起没起
the
作
house.
用？
And so
会不
he
会
came back to see
到
this
他们家
lady
附
and
近
see
凑合
if his
在走到他们家门口附近
bad
的时候，
Dharma
李氏正
skill
好出来，也是巧
had
合。
hurt
我
the
在想买菜
lady.
干嘛？
And so
我一
he
看，哎，
came
给他们家
to
干活
their
的那个
house,
小木匠，
and
虽然不正
Miss
经嘛，
Lee
毕竟给
came
他们
out
家
and
干过
saw
这个
that
活
young man.
礼节上呢，就是说来吧，喝杯茶吧。
And so
哎，
she
就
was
去他们
very
家喝杯
polite
茶。
and said,
也有
well,
别人在家，所以
would
他
you
也
like
没
to
有
come
敢
in
调
and
戏
have
和
some
动手。
tea? Because there are other people
就观
around.
察来观察
So
去，就觉得，
he
哎，
didn't dare
这
to
他家那个气不是
molest
很
the
旺
lady
吗？
again.
是好的呀。
And then he was
这个
very surprised.
屋里的这个磁场是
The,
很正
the
面的。
magnetic field,
按
the
说我
energy
用的那
field
个法
was
术是
pretty
邪的，
good.
应该
I
他们家
used
太
that
破落了，
evil
病倒了，
way
一股
to
发霉的
try
味
to
道才
make
对啊。
them,
可
you
他们
know,
家不一
sick
样啊，
and make them
这
ill.
很
But
顺
how
很
come
阳光，
their
正能
family
量非常
is
强啊，
full of positive
是这么回
energy,
事啊。
is full of sunshine?
他也是
And,
百思不得其
and
解，
that young
但是
man
李氏
was
还是
very
很客气礼
confused.
貌对待他。
But Miss
所以
Lee
他一
was
看这个事儿，
still
就是
very
他
polite
这会儿的心思
towards
还不是
him.
在于调戏李氏上头，他觉得我怎么用的法术不灵呢？
And then
那
he
反而
thought,
是他家的越来越好呢。
how
他
come
说，
that
这是我的再
evil
次启动我这个
Dharma
妖魔邪怪。
skill
所
didn't
以他
hurt
很
them?
快他就
And
说
so he
离开他家的
left.
时候，大家记住哈，
Remember
有关键
this.
的事儿发生了。
There's one
哎
important
这
thing
个
happened.
坏的小木匠就在
That
他家，
bad
就
young
是过
man,
去那个有一个就是挡门板儿。挡门板，
you
看
know,
我们家乡叫
in
门弦
ancient times, they
就
they
是
used
说
to
挡
have
住
that
有小狗
a
啊、
block
鸡啊
of
不要
wood
进，一正常走不进来，
would be
人
at
要
the
抱
door to prevent
参观那些
little
庙啊
chickens
故宫
or
啊
dogs to
进
come
都有一
in.
个
And
我们叫门旋。
you know, if you
别
go
人叫
to
门
the
槛
Forbidden
这
City,
个
you
东
would
西挡
also
住
see
其实
that
是实用的东西，小猪小
there's
狗不
this
要来
kind
回跑，
of a block
对，
of wood
还有
there.
小小的孩子也别来回跑。
And actually,
就是有
it's
这个
very
意思。
practical.
从风水
And
上
it
来说
also
的话呢，
prevent little
也
kids
有一
to
个
moving around too
到我
much.
家来，尽量能保存住，哎，也有这
And
个
in feng
聚财
shui,
的意思。
that it's a
哦，
like
这个
a
人就
door
离
seal.
开他家的时候，
Also in
就
feng
用
shui, it helps
脚
to
后跟
keep the
在他家的这个
wells in.
这个门槛上
And then
狠
this
狠的
bad young
跺了
man
3脚，之后悄声的说，
kicked
哎，
very hard on the
这个
door seal for 3
说了
times.
啥？
And
哎
then he said,
对，是对的。他说：“小畜生，啊，你 你这个赶快醒过来。
And then he
干
said,
活啊！
That little animal,
就是很小的
wake
声
up and do the job. And he said in very low voice because he was giving the instruction to that evil animal. But, ladies are very good at hearing. And that Miss Li heard that, even though the young man said that in a very low voice. And so this Miss Li took out the peachwood stick, and then he hit that door seal again and said, see, your owner, your master has already left. Go and chase him. Go and follow him. And then after a few hours, and then the villager said, you see, outside of the village, at the side of the road, someone died. Maybe a wild animal, killed him, and he was beat all over the body. And then when we go and check, it was that young carpenter that came here to work before. So he actually created that monster animal, and then that monster animal actually bit him and killed himself. So if you want to hurt others, you might be hurt yourself. And people who are kind, if they do have that good fortune, you cannot hurt them. If you want to hurt them, you're probably going to hurt yourself. So remember this story. I'm not going to explain further this story. I'm not going to comment on this story either. You should understand what it means. Anyways, let's start chanting now. So today, we're going to chant to Guanyin Bodhisattva. I hope through chanting, we will be healthy and enjoy long life. And whenever there's calamities, we will overcome the difficulties and be auspicious, and our wishes will be granted. I wish we will, everything will go smoothly. And even the children will listen and be intelligent and wise. Very soon, the young students will need to go to that entrance examination. I hope the parents will chant for them, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas will bless them, so that those young students will get the best scores and extend their potential. Okay, so now let's chant. Nam mô Quan
世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨。南无 萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音 菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。南无观世 南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。 萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨。
希望大家呢都能够长命百岁，
I hope you all
如意
can
吉祥
enjoy long life. It will be auspicious, and
快快
your
乐乐。
wishes will be fulfilled,
接下
and
来
all of
呢，
you would be
我想
happy.
为朋友们呢
Now
做一点加持。
I'd
可能
like
今
to
天的加
do
持，
an
这个
energy
能量会
healing
较
for you.
强一些。
Maybe today's
我是希
healing
望
will
所有的
be
病痛帮助
the
消
energy
失。
would be
今
very
天我们
strong.
把
I
这一
hope
段本身就
all
是通过
the
网络，
ailments
通过摄
and
像机把它录
illnesses
下
will
来。
be
今天录下来之后，我
removed
相信这
and
个作用力
eliminated.
会
We
随着
will
这个影像的
record
存在，
the video,
这个
and
加
I
持力
hope
作用力可能永远是存在的。
the video
今
will
天
keep
希望
that
所有属于病痛的病
healing
当场消
power
失。
forever. And I hope today's healing will eliminate all the pain and illnesses.
好，现在呢，我会把你的身体的疼痛抓出来。
Now
疼痛
I
任何一
will
个地
take
方
out your
无论头
pain
啊、
and
背啊、腿啊、
illnesses.
腰啊
Maybe it could be,
都可以
you know, headache
把你
or
的疼痛
backache
的
or
问题抓出来。
or leg pain. So now I'll take out your head problem, headache or migraines.
对，你的疾病
Yeah.
正在往外走。
Your illness
现在有的人已经不
are
痛了，
coming out right now. Some people already doesn't feel any pain. Mm.
刚才把你的疾病拿出来，
Just
现在
now
呢，
I took
再
out
把更好的
your
能量，
illnesses,
快乐
and
给你
now
补充
I
进去
will
啊。
send good energy and health to you.
“疾病消失，
Illness disappear.
一切
Illnesses
恢
disappear.
复健康正常，
Everything back to health
恢复
and
吉
normal.
祥光明。
Back to good energy and light.
让疾病痛苦消失，
Let go all the illnesses and sufferings.
疾病痛苦消失，
Illnesses and pain disappear.
大家跟我做哈。
Now follow me.
适当的用点力，拍拍自己的胸口
Pat
啊
a。little harder on your chest.
好，之后跟着我会大喊一声，
Then
预备开始
shout，out loud.
哈
Like this.
啊，再跟着模仿哈，咳嗽哈。
Just follow me. Cough.
再咳嗽一次，后背就不
Cough
痛了
one
哈。
more
再来，
time, and then your back won't feel any pain.
真难听，再来，
That sounds awful. Once again.
再来一次。
Again.
今天的加持就到这里
Today's
啊。
healing.
我相信用很短的时间，大家会非常轻松
I believe just
啊。
a
有些
very
疼
short
痛，有
time,
些问题
I think you'll
可能
feel
一次就
much
消失了
better, much
啊。
lighter. A lot of
那
pain might disappear just in
基于
this one
这两
time.
三天呢，我会
So
有一
in
点
these
时间
2-3 days,
我想
I'll
呢
have some time.
就邀请所有的朋
I'd
友
like
们
to invite
我
all
们一
of
起
you,
呢算今天
my
明天
friends,
后天
say
在同一
today,
时间
tomorrow, and
我
the day
们一
after
起
tomorrow.
进行共修，好不好？
Let's practice together, right?
好，
Okay?
连续3天哈
So we'll have，
明天
3 days.
后天的同一时间，这
Tomorrow,
个就不再额外的去告诉你
the day
哈，
after.
今天就是正式
So
通知了啊。
Today,
好，
tomorrow, and
各
the
位
day
朋友
after. So
如
we'll
意
practice 3
吉
days together.
祥
So I wish you
啊，
good
开心
fortune,
快乐。
wish fulfilling, happy.
好，那我
All
们
right.
明天再见，谢谢。
See you tomorrow. Thank you.
小小的红点里，人生就此欢喜。我快乐了，我健康了，我幸福了，我美丽了。在茫茫人海之中，让我与你相遇。小小的红点里，人生变得神奇。我智慧了，我宽容了，我慈悲了，我自在了。因为有了你，生命变